Greetings everyone and welcome. This is episode 116 of Author Sprue, and in this one I'll be scratch building a World War II camouflage net for Tamiya's SAS Jeep. Guys, I've been busy on the LRDG truck, of course, and you'll remember in the last SAS video we added some weathering to the fuel cans, the jerry cans. And in this video I'll be scratch building a camouflage net from World War II. But first, a word from the sponsor.
I'm Lindy Swart. I'm the owner of Supernova Studio. The products that we sell at Supernova are brands that we are proud to put our name on, especially Vallejo. Vallejo is Spanish. They're a really good company. We are proud with their quality of their pigments. Their paints are exceptional for the miniaturists, for hobbyists, especially the artists. The artist pigments are the 300 to 800 grade, so they are a very good quality paint. In the hobby section, we sell armor, aircraft. We've got air war sets, which are paint sets for guys that do the aircraft. We've got a lot of other products that go with that in building. We've got decals, we've got Pointer Studio. We've got lots of different products that go with the model building. It's not just about plastic. We do a lot of crafting products, polymer clay for the girls that do polymer clay earrings. We've got resin art. We also do the fine art, which is your watercolor, your fluid art. We do some inks. I love to craft myself. I enjoy working with my polymer clay. I'm more on the craft side than I am on the hobby side. My husband's more on the hobby side of the business. But it's the crafting. I absolutely love using my products, testing my products, making sure that the products that I'm putting out there are superior to what you can get in the market. And I do make sure that my customers are well looked after because I've tested it and made sure that the quality is the best on the market. If you go onto supernovastudio.durban, you'll find us online.
Now this vintage SAS Jeep kit from Tamiya, dating from 1974, of course, includes some camo nets. You can see them there. But they're not great. I think there can be some improvement on this, and for this reason I decided to scratch build my own. I looked at the Black Dog resin kit as well, guys, and there you can see this is the common problem with resin and styrene attempts at making these sort of nets. They just don't look quite right. This looks like something you'll find on a coral reef. Now, what did these nets actually look like? And for this, I'm going back to this rare footage from the Imperial War Museum. And you can see there's a camouflage net on this SAS Jeep bonnet. Now, during wartime, these nets were constructed by weaving strips of sacking cloth into the net mesh. And guys, there's some really good information on the Historic England blog. I'll provide the link to this in the description for this video, but this is a really great read if you're interested in camouflage during wartime Britain. And you can see there cutting up short lengths of green and khaki sacking strip and attaching them to the mesh. And in existing examples you can actually see this. Of course, there is the rolled net. Now there are commercial ones available, but these are for modern use. You can see type 1, type 2. This is quite familiar to most of you from AK. And of course this is the wrong time frame. This will not work at all. My solution was quite simple. Something from the pharmacy or the drugstore, depending on which side of the Atlantic you live. And this gauze bandage will work perfectly for the mesh portion of the net. Now for the sacking strips, Hessian, I believe this is called, I would need something else, and for this I used a piece of Kleenex. Of course this is double ply, and I ended up using only a single ply. little pieces of single ply strips of this Kleenex. Now guys, this is not the method, this is merely my method. I believe there's quite a few ways of doing this, and in this video I'm demonstrating the method that I ended up following to construct my scratch build nets. So this is the gauze bandage, the holes being just the right size, and the first task is to color this. We can't use this in its current white format. Simply will look out of place. To do this, I use some stone gray from Vallejo Model Color, and this I diluted with plenty of airbrush thinner. I suppose you could also have used tap water. The main thing there is, of course, that just to get the paint in a nice thin consistency. And the next thing I did was to just dip the mesh, dip the bandage into this paint mixture. You can see, there we go, some instant dyed net, and I left this out to dry. Quite easily done. With this done, I can now move on to making those strips of sacking cloth. The first color I used is US light green, and again guys, here I sort of followed what I was seeing in existing modern day examples from nets that exist from that period. For the brown, I used some dirt. Again, this is airbrushed onto that single ply of Kleenex. A bit difficult actually, because this is quite light. And once everything is dried, this is the result. There you can see that is the green and the brown little squares of Kleenex, and the bandage, the gauze bandage that I colored. And now for the sacking cloth. Now to make this, I cut little strips of the Kleenex that I airbrushed earlier. You can see there's little tiny holes in there. I suppose in scale that's kind of sort of close enough, but for my purposes this worked perfectly. Now of course these were folded and rolled and sort of mangled in all sorts of ways, and you can see that in existing examples. So next I twisted this little strip, folded it over a few times, and just sort of, roughed it up just to look like the real world example. And I did this with both the green and the brown. Now the next step is some needlework, if you wish. I used my tweezers and started weaving this piece of dyed Kleenex into the mesh itself, the bandage itself, in irregular patterns. Now I believe there were quite a few patterns that were followed. And because the net that I made would be rolled up, I wasn't too concerned with following a specific pattern. So I basically just alternated the brown and the green strips into my net in irregular patterns. So there's a little bit of the brown Kleenex being woven into the mesh, following an irregular pattern. So there we go, more or less something like that. And I just kept on doing this. I just continued until I started building up a nice irregular pattern into that mesh. So there we go, that's the result. Quite happy with this. Colors seem to correspond with what I was seeing. Now guys, if we look at this footage again, you can see there's quite a lot of the sacking strip visible. And in order to make mine look realistic, similar to the patterns that I was seeing, I decided to, at the very end of the piece of rolled mesh, to include quite a lot of the sacking strip, if you wish. And after a few attempts, I rolled this specific net. This looked more or less realistic, and I was happy with this. And next I decided to follow the example in the kit parts and construct some leather straps. Now, in order to construct this, I used some 1mm Tamiya masking tape, with my little homemade jig. And this I would spray paint in leather, red leather from Vallejo model color. Very easily done. Just airbrush that color onto that masking tape and allow it to dry. So with this done, I've got my lengths of leather, and it's now a simple matter of just cutting this from a little jig. And next I would also need some buckles. And in order to make this, I use some 0.3mm silver wire. Now this is some very fine work, and you'll need a set of needle nose pliers in order to do this, making sure that the buckle that you're making is the correct size for that leather strap. And once you're sure that the size is correct, I can start wrapping this around my net. And that's exactly what I'm doing there. Just wrapping that leather strap around it. Guys, and that is it. That is how easy it is to construct your own realistic looking camouflage net from World War II. This is ready to go into the Jeep. It could benefit from some dusting later on with some pigments, but happy with this overall. Now folks, at this point, just a reminder, my sister build, if you wish, the Thunder Models LRDG truck is currently on special at Supernova Studio. If you use the promo code THUNDER, you will get a 10% discount of any of the Thunder Model vehicle kits on the Supernova Studio website. These are superb kits, guys, as you'll see in my other videos, and highly recommended, of course. Make use of this opportunity to grab yours at some discount. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following along. As always, follow me on Instagram, where I post frequent updates of all my builds. Thank you for watching.